America from here. Look at it. They can't wait to leave. Right? And I think in response to some of that, as people are starting to say, San Francisco doesn't even look like America anymore. Do they even share your ideals anymore? What's going on up there? I think this new edict out of the San Francisco baseball manager, Bob Mendes, I believe his name is, I believe that's being birthed out of that. We have a little bit more information on that. We'll walk you through that 9 a.m. this morning. Also at 8 o'clock, apparently more and more men are feeling the pressure to be manly. And I believe this, as the word alpha has risen in today's society over the last 5 years, and again, I tell people all the time, you don't really understand what the definition of an alpha is. If I took most men into a locker room, like an NFL locker room, you would think that. But once you close that locker room door, there's one alpha, and it's the quarterback. It's the guy who had the balls and the confidence his entire life, like, give me the ball, I'll sling it, I'm the guy, give me the ball. That's the alpha in that room, right? But these terms have given way to people now having a new way for everybody to mock everybody, and so I think a lot of men do feel pressure to be more manly outwardly than maybe they feel inside. We'll run you through that coming up at 8 o'clock. We'll take a look at that. Also, yesterday, the social media outage. The world's gone absolutely crazy on this, including Elon Musk. I saw him victory lapping on this yesterday. It's like, Elon, yeah, you're having a little moment in the sun here, for sure. But don't pretend like an outage can't happen to X. It literally just happened to you not that long ago. He's out there dunking on the rest of them. It's like, Holmes, this is technology. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's literally been my pushback on all of it from the beginning, which is we can't move to an all-digital thing. It's not sustainable yet. We're not ready to go there yet. We're not ready to be all the way in on that yet. So I thought that was about Taylor Swift yesterday, or even crazier. You barely hear about that woman anymore. Remember? The media. Her dad is being accused of assaulting somebody, and you barely hear about it. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, the love affair of the NFL thing with her is over because the NFL season is over. So you're not hearing about her as much because the NFL media is not talking about her. And so it's just back to the regular, like Rolling Stone covers her and MSNBC will tell you that she told you to vote for somebody and this and that. But like, you think the outage of Facebook had anything to do with Taylor? Wouldn't they want it up so she can continue to get her message out? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. So we'll run you through the Facebook outage. Also, a man says he delivers fully on that audio. I'll run you through that around 7:20 this morning on the Stansbury Show.
He was the most hated man in America.
330-450-7625. All right, so I saw another one of these. Go woke. Necessarily have to have an entire conversation about that, but like, you hear that phrase all the time. Go woke, go broke. And I'm like, well, not always. Around the world every year, baby. And yet, one of the wokest songs you've ever heard. Out because they just hear the anger and they assume he just agrees with me, right? No, he doesn't. He would hate you. Like, there's a lot of that, right? Al's as woke as you can get. It doesn't get any more woke than that. So where we decide go woke, go broke is a thing, well, that's an interesting examination to me. And people tell me this is another one, and I'm not so sure that it is. So coming out on the 19th, I believe, is MLB The Show 24. For those of you who are adults, I will tell you that MLB The Show 24 is a video game, right? Is what that is. And sports video games are big. They're big business. As a matter of fact, I can't get enough of FC 24 right now, which is Football Club, used to be known as FIFA. I can't stop playing that game. It is so good and so much fun. But MLB The Show 24 has multiple modes in it. Create a player, you can run a franchise, be a GM, you can do the fantasy thing. There's a lot of different things those sports games offer you now. And I understand that because that's smart business. So apparently, they're going to have in this game, Road to the Show, women pave their way. A brand new addition to the Road to the Show mode. For the first time, you can create and play as a woman ball player with a unique Road to the Show story that evolves with the player over the course of your career. You'll experience a personalized story where players can interact and build their baseball careers. This path will include all existing features of Road to the Show with the addition of a unique to woman storyline following a lifelong friendship as it develops in professional baseball. We had the opportunity to hear from Molly Braley, narrative designer, and Kelsey Whitmore, apparently, the first women player in MLB partnered league, member of the U.S. Baseball National Team, and 2022 U.S. Baseball Sportswoman of the Year. When asked what was the inspiration for creating Road to the Show, Women Paved Their Way, to describe the mode and what are some new features that they can look forward to. The answer was, this feature was inspired by the stories of women in baseball. Legends such as Tony Stone, lists a few others, who was one of the first women ever to play as a professional baseball player and now has a storyline in MLB The Show 24. Our team wanted to create something where dreams become a reality, and we felt like adding this to the Road to the Show was the perfect opportunity to give our players the options to experience this. I have no problem with a mode of this, where I think, and I don't think most people who play MLB The Show 24 have an issue with this. I really don't. I especially don't think girl dads have an issue with it at all, right? Of course not. I don't think most people have a problem with it. I think when people get angry about this stuff is when there are no women playing professional baseball in the Major League Baseball organization today, and then you say it's a female-only character. Because sometimes video games does that, because apparently the industry's toxic, needs to be washed up a little. Yeah, wash it up a little bit, right? And so they get accused of being toxic, and then people overcorrect the steer. But I don't believe this is overcorrecting the steer. I think this is opening yourself up to another large portion of your fan base. I've talked about this before. Female sports fans are not foreign to me. They're not. My dad's mom was the biggest football fan in my family. It's not close. Grandma Joe, that was her jam, football. Loved it. Loved sports. Couldn't get enough of it. Knew more than most of the dudes she knew, worked with, and was related to. So I kind of grew up with that. So it doesn't seem odd to me. My better half. Good game on Saturday night, she'll give you the remote. We're like, dude, let's watch that. Like, she's all into it. Jennifer's a bigger Buckeye fan than I am. She can't wait to watch Ohio State games. So, like, female fandom isn't new to me. And I don't care if you give people an option to play as themselves. I understand representation will pull people into the fold. I get that. I don't think I'm the kind of person, and most people, by the way, are the kind of people who care if you give somebody an option of this. When they care is when you replace it as the only option, and you must accept it. And if you don't, it's secretly because you're dead. That's when people get mad, is when you back them into a corner with the only option to go, oh, what, we only gave you the one option? And I know America's built on options. You're built on your freedom of choice, and you're built on all of that, but we're only giving you this one. You don't like it. Look how awful you are. That's when people get mad. Like, we have to start admitting that. Oh, Stansberry, come, how unrealistic is that? I don't know. Probably as unrealistic as my makeup player that's 400 pounds sitting in the outfield that's already hit 900 home runs in the first 7 games of the season. You know, probably as unrealistic as that.
Back to the Stansberry Show. Rock 106.9.
8 a.m. this morning, we'll take a look at a study that tells us a lot of men in this country are feeling pressure, they say, to be manly. Well, I guess what I want to know is to actually be manly, or what you have been told by somebody is manly, or whose yardstick are we using? Right? It might be interesting. We'll get there coming up at 8 o'clock. So yesterday I was working in the studio after the show was over. And I do some things for some Cleveland stations and some other stuff. And, you know, I got post-production stuff to be doing here. It's not just like, all right, 10:05, going home, right? I got it pretty good. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. Right? So I'd been in the studio. And I'm pretty much the only one who will use this room most of the time. And I'm kind of alerted, like, hey, man, on Friday night, we got football running, remember that, and this and that. But mostly it's like, this could just be my office, because I'm mostly the only person ever in it. And so a lot of times I'll just leave everything signed in. I'm running to the bathroom, I'll be right back. So I come back to the studio yesterday after a little bathroom break, talking to sales and the like, and I tried to log into, I opened up my Facebook tab, and it's on the sign-in screen. And then I was like, oh no. Do I remember my information? And then, you know, I go through all of that. And then I tried to sign in. I was like, we can't do that right now. And I was under the impression I was personally being hacked. So I started to panic. So then I run back to sales. And, they're all in there trying to do their jobs, and I'm screaming bloody murder, like, yo, try to log on to Facebook right now. I need to know stuff, right? And so, like, they all look, and they're like, no, man, like, we can't do this. And I actually was more relieved then. For me, maybe I'm crazy here, to me, a worldwide thing or a mass user outage is preferable versus like, we're coming for Stansberry, right? Like my brain does not need that, right? Like, I don't need that. And so, of course, then the world became conspiracy filled about the Facebook outage yesterday. Right? And I love when this happens because people will complain, and I'm one of these people who will complain about tech and how it's not as sturdy or, ready to go as we all like to pretend it is, and there's going to be outages, and there's going to be sometimes when it doesn't work for you, and what do we do when that happens and all of that. And plenty of people, will say that about a lot of things, and then the moment something goes down, it's not just tech's not stable yet, it's, I bet something's up. And if I'm honest here, isn't that a little bit of a credit to the social media companies? You're so used to it just being there, working 24/7, giving you the time suck that we all use it for, all of them. It's just there, morning, noon, and night, ready to go. You lonely? Come on, Facebook's here. And you want to rage about that? You want to bitch about MLB The Show putting female players in? Take it to Facebook, man. Call it woke, right? Like, it's just there for you all the time. So when it's not, it's like, wait a minute, they're out to get me. Right? And everybody went crazy. I saw some people posting this yesterday that people thought it was a result of underwater data cables being cut in the Red Sea over installing the New World Order. Guys, if a New World Order is going to get installed, it's after the election. Right? When they tell you more votes than anybody in history now, it's 110 million votes now, right? Like when they tell you that one, that's when that would happen, not before it. I don't think. Maybe I'm dead wrong. I guess maybe I could have it ass backwards, I suppose. I get some stuff wrong. It's not that many, but, a few here and there. Movie theater, kind of got that one wrong. It happens. But I just don't see that, I saw a lot of people making it about Taylor Swift. She was telling everybody, vote for the people who most, what did she say? Represent you, look like you, or something like that, something. And people were all upset about her, with her about it. And it's like, guys, like, the celebrities have been telling us to vote for who they want us to tell us to vote for long before you knew what celebrities were. Like, literally, I tell you all the time, the celebrities begged you, and I mean begged you, for Jimmy Carter. They've been doing this forever. And I've told you that the celebrities always lean a little left and liberal. Their lives are easy and padded, and so they think everybody, what's the big problem? Hey, just do it like this, right? And they don't live in your world. And so they see it a little different. They also get paid a lot of money to do something that's not all that hard for them. And I keep trying to tell people there's guilt that comes with that. I feel guilt sometimes when I look at my bank account. I shouldn't, because I should be paid more money, and so should you. But yet I still feel guilty over the fact that it's like, dude, my job's not that hard. Like, it isn't. And look, dude, I'm kind of killing it financially. Like, this, I feel bad. Give money to people. Like, that's kind of what, dude, it's guilt that's pouring out of people that's making them have the views they have. But, I mean, I'm getting a little sidetracked there, but, like, shock Taylor Swift, a young person, is more progressive? Like, I don't understand how people are confused by this. I don't get it. Right? So a lot of people thought it was about her Super Tuesday message. Right? So I guess what I would want to know is, what about her message? Do you think that they were trying to, I mean, you don't think they were trying to stifle Taylor, right? For 3 months during the NFL season, all I heard about how she was going to be used as the long arm of the law of the Democratic Party to make sure we get another Biden presidency, right? Well, then they would want her message. No. If they're looking to use her celebrity, then they're going to, wait for it, want her to be using the celebrity. Right? Am I crazy here? I mean, I didn't even get high yet today. I feel like I got this one locked. I do. Now, if the argument is, bro, don't be an idiot here. She's one of the most famous people on the planet. She posted about it. Everybody's talking about it. It's got circled around, and the mass sharing and the people going to see it and talk about it and commenting on it, and the activity crashed the system. You're way closer to getting me on your side there. Talked about would have crashed their systems, not her Super Tuesday message. I don't get it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but like that one I just don't see at all. I don't see it. As a matter of fact, we're not even really hearing about Taylor as much as we used to. You know why? Because the world's most famous, or not the world's, this country's favorite sport isn't on TV anymore. She's not sitting at the stadium of our favorite thing anymore. And you know, all of 46 seconds on the screen to make all the alphas lose their mind. I'm so tough and so alpha that the sight of Taylor Swift makes me melt down. That's how alpha I am. Yeah, get that kettlebell out at 215, buddy. Get it out. Get it out. Have fun with it. I mean, absolute dope shows, right? I just don't see this. I don't. Now, what makes my opinion crazy is Facebook came out and said, look, it's a technical issue, a rep says. And yet I don't believe them either. It's in Facebook's best interest for you not to know what causes that. So, you know, some of the people who are into this can't replicate it. That'd be one, right? That'd be one. Also, I think more and more companies are going to start rotating back to, dude, we don't tell you everything just because you think we should. Like, we're not doing that. This is our company. This is our business. These are our advertisers. These are our dollars. And we will protect as we see fit. So I'm not surprised by that. Simple tech issue, I could see it. It's probably the most likely. But there is so much distrust in systems in today's world, including social media systems, maybe them more than others even, to where I don't care what their spokesperson tells me, I'm not going to buy that. But you can't tell me they want Taylor Swift using her popularity, and then it's like, this is about the Taylor Swift post. It's like, it is? About too much traffic? Okay, maybe, but the Taylor Travis stuff would have done that, my man.
We would have him drug tested, but why waste the money? The Stan Scary Show on Rock 106.9.
Welcome back to the Stan Scary Show. I'll get to the national tickets. We'll do that at 8:45 this morning. That show at Blossom in September. This coming in off the text line at 330-450-7625. Stansbury, dude, you're going to talk about Taylor Swift. You're going to talk about her bringing down the social media yesterday, Super Tuesday. You're not going to talk about the fact that people think it's the satanic ritual? Yeah, so I've been seeing a little bit more of this with her. Like, there's this guy, and most of you have never heard this name, and your life is better for it. There's a guy on socials. He's pretty big, though. His name's Matt Wallace. And, you know, every day Matt has another video of, like, her or maybe Sexy Red or Ice Spice. And the thing is, what do you notice about this video? And I always want to write that your idiot following is going to comment on it and increase your engagement so you can continue to make money versus, I don't know, doing something else. Like, that's what I always want to say, because there's nothing to notice in those videos. Nothing. Also, I don't know how upset I'm supposed to get about satanic imagery. Shout! 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 Shout at the devil! Like, I mean, dude, like, seriously. Like, how angry am I supposed to get about satanic imagery, man? When it's like, throw up the devil horns for the rock, bro. Rock, bro. Right? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, what are we arguing about here? Like, that it seems so ridiculous to me. Hey, running with the devil, that one was pretty good. Hey, the devil's my best friend. I just run with him. I hang with him. The satanic ritual of Taylor Swift is going to bring the country. I love people, man. I do. I love them. They're just, dude, people are my favorite. And it's because of how much I hate them. That's why I love them, right? It's just people are just crazy. And I don't believe Facebook's answer either. Just, you know, tech issue. It's like, well, can we get a little bit more information on that? But I said, well, of course not. It's their company. I'm not entitled to all the truth I want. Somewhere along the line, we have been convinced of that if we want to know it, we should get to know it. That's insane. As a matter of fact, there's another argument about this with the NFL Combine. Most people think the kid that's going to go number one is Caleb Williams out of USC. And he probably will. But, like, he's not doing a lot of the Combine stuff. People are like, learn to do it the right way. It's like, well, you turn college football into a pro sport. You're shocked that the guys who are playing that pro sport now are approaching the next step of their career as if it's a business transaction? It is. And so he's not giving a lot of his medical, information to some other teams that he doesn't think is in the running or that he may not want to go play for. And people are beside themselves about it. Like, okay, I understand there's a changing of the guard and we don't like change and this looks new and the players got power and we don't like that. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of players having too much power. So I understand it, right? But at the end of the day, if you're Caleb Williams, it's smart. Albert Breer pointed this out the other day, and I thought it was a really good point. What Albert had to say dude, he's going to be playing against all of these people. He's only playing for one of these teams. Why is he going to load the rest of the competition up with a bunch of information on him? Man, it's a really good point. Really good point. And so, I don't necessarily buy what Facebook is telling Meta, really, as the parent company. I don't understand, or I don't believe what they're saying, but, I understand why they're not telling me more of what I want to know. Now, they may wait 3-4 days. It'll be buried on page 12 or whatever, and, nobody will pay attention to it now. A lot of people made it about Super Tuesday. I kind of feel like, and this one I could be dead wrong about. So let me just underline it. I kind of feel like Super Tuesday is one of these things people only care about online. I saw everybody online talking about it yesterday. Nobody I had a physical conversation with yesterday said anything about it. Now, did I talk to 5,000 people yesterday? No, but let me see. Over 40 different people. I was in a million different meetings yesterday about, some things, and with plenty of casual subjects came up. The Facebook outage came up. Not that many people talking Super Tuesday yesterday. When Facebook and all the social medias came up, where were all the I voted stickers? Yeah, see, that's not part of that day. And that's why, dude, I don't think people care about it, right? Because, I don't get to, post this photo of me wearing this flag sticker to show everybody I'm a good little American, right? That's not really baked into that day. There's some of it, but it's not baked into the day, like the general election. We know that. Right? Yeah, I think we do. So I'm not sure that was what it was, I'm suspicious like anybody else. My thing is, what I'm going to say most of the time is, dude, they're probably running tests on their systems. In preparing for attacks. What happens when this happens? Well, dude, it's going to go down actually for a little while. Yeah, but dude, our product is so big. And wait for this part now. It is so addictive that they're only going to want it more once it comes back. So take it away from them a little bit. They'll want it more. So I think it could have just been about a test on the system. The Super Tuesday issue brought out a lot of interesting stories. They say Nikki Haley going to bow out today. And it's all right, yeah, I understand. She lost about 2 months ago. So, I don't know what the hell she's been waiting on. But, there that goes. And they caught up with a voter yesterday. The News did. And they asked this man whether or not he even considered Nikki Haley. It was a Trump supporter for sure. They wanted to know if he even considered Nikki Haley. Here is that interaction between the News and that man.
What do you think of Nikki Haley? Did you ever consider her? What I got to say, you don't really want to put it on. Let me hear it.
No, the News does want you to say it. The News absolutely wants you to say it. That's why they walked up to you and started talking to you. Put a pin in that. I'm going to make that point here in a second.
Well, one is not going to be a good president. She have no balls to scratch.
Okay, hold on. I need to make sure that I hear this right.
One is not going to be a good president. She have no balls to scratch.
What does that... I got to be honest with you. A woman won't be a good president. She doesn't have no balls to scratch. My man, I got to be honest with you, dude. If I'm looking at two dudes to vote for the presidency and one of them can't stop ball handling like John Candy said in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I think I'm going with the other dude. You know what I mean? I'm going with the non-ball fidgeter, I think, is what I'm doing. I don't understand. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
One is not going to be a good president. She have no balls to scratch. She's just going to scratch her head. All a woman's good for in my book is having babies and taking care of the house. And
see, now that's the problem right there, is that that's all they're good for. See, you went a little too far, buddy. You went a little too far. Women are good for a lot of other things, right? Now, again, I want to stop right here and say, as a man who pushes back on toxic masculinity and how many people bitch and cry about that kind of stuff, that's a toxic viewpoint. I think it is a toxic viewpoint to say that women aren't good for anything except for taking care of babies, the house, and maybe, the domestic stuff. I think that's a toxic viewpoint. I don't, however, think it's a toxic viewpoint for somebody to prefer that they could have a single working household where somebody stays home and raises the kids, takes care of the family, and kind of does that. That's where you lose me. Preferring a little bit more of a traditional life, I don't believe makes you toxic. Having the opinion that women are only valuable in these arenas, that, as a guy who pushes back on the terminology a lot, I got to be honest with you, I do. I view that to be a toxic viewpoint.
And but that's the old thing, but I'm old school.
No, you're not old school. You're dumb. I mean, my grandmother, my father's mother, worked her entire life. Had one of them alpha husbands who didn't do nothing at home, man. Worked that steel mill. Came on, did his 15, brother. Drank in front of that television now. She had one of them. She worked too. So she was good enough for that. This is what I love, man. People will say this kind of stuff, but it's like, dude, if I say this about your daughter, how mad you gonna get? No, not my kid. What about your loser mom who wasn't good for nothing? What about her? No, not my mama. Right? Oh, miraculously, your viewpoints don't hold up against your own family members there. Right.
So you never even considered her?
No.
Mainly because she's a woman?
Because she's female. So, females, don't take me wrong, females know what they're doing, but they still got to have a little bit of guidance. Trump would be the one to guide her.
All right, so first, I don't know if you've heard, buddy, the president literally has a staff of people, wait for it, called advisors. So, the men need that too. This is a job that you can't know what you're doing until you're doing it. I think we need to be honest about that. But let's circle back to why the news is talking to this guy. I told you, I think it was 5 years ago about this. If you see the local news and they're walking up to you and they want to talk to you, turn around and walk the other way. They think you're stupid. You think they're looking for the most informed opinion out there to run at 5:30 in the afternoon while you're doing 9 other things, paying attention to the news, and you hear, oh my God, man, just give me a ball scratcher and I'll vote for him, right? You think they actually want the most informed person out there? No. They want what's going to get them their views. This isn't you being informed. This is us pointing and laughing at an idiot. Yes, I'm guilty here too. I'm playing you the audio. Absolutely. Here's the other thing. You know what they wanted to do here, right? They wanted to position him as the face of everybody who's going to vote the same way he is going to vote. That's what that video is for. Why do you think the reporter says, no, lay it on me. Lay it on me, because I'm going to take the rest of your brethren and run this train over with them in the 6 o'clock news because you said this to me. And so now all of a sudden for 72 hours, everybody who's looking to vote that way becomes this man, which we all know that's not true. I say that, but let me rephrase. We all hope that's not true, and I don't believe that it is. And that's why I said we all know it's not true, because I don't believe that it is true. What I do believe is, knowing about the media a little bit, dude, when they chase you down with that camera, baby, they think you are absolutely dumb, and they can't wait to show it to everybody.
He's a bad influence. But nobody is stupid enough to take him